those times are different. We have everything we need to keep us going. But what happens when you don't have the inspiration? It's our spirit that just doesn't feel up to it. And I believe that sometimes we need to inspire our soul. And that's why I created something known as Inspiration for the Soul quite a while back. But it's inspiration for our spirit, because the spirit within us also connects with the spirit with other people. And that's how life happens. And that so happens to be the topic of today, the spirit within. Um, it's something we can control. It's something that we have absolute power over. And it's something that we need to listen to in order to move ahead in life. And so today, with a totally blank mind, nothing on the agenda, I was going to, just get up and do this. But then one of you gave me the inspiration that I needed. And I've got to thank you before I get started, because this is how life happens. We are all interconnected. That the spirit and the fact that we're all interconnected is probably what the topic of this live should be, because we are all interconnected. It's when we feel that we're alone, especially as introverts, that how do I put it? I wrote something smart down here that I was going to say. It's when we feel that we're alone that we really truly are alone. But that's in our minds. In actual fact, we aren't alone. Whether we know or we accept that we are all interconnected and that we can find inspiration from others, um, whether we believe that or not, it actually is true. And at the same time, that our spirit can be impacted by what others think, but that's only if we let it. And so, without further ado, I am going to thank very, very heartily and thank so much our community member and our good friend, Jacqueline Fairbrass. Jacqueline wrote a piece today, and if you haven't read it, I'm going to read it to you here. It was a public post, so I'm sure that Jacqueline is she's okay with me sharing this. I mean, that's it, folks. It's here. I didn't go back to Jacqueline and say, hey, Jacqueline, what you wrote struck a chord with me, and more people need to hear this. Will you be okay if I shared this? I just knew that Jacqueline's message had to be shared, because there are people out there. It certainly inspired me, um, because you remember this morning I just didn't have anything to talk about. It inspired me, number one, to not only get content for this live, but also to look at certain things that within my life and within our business that this applies to as well. So, Jacqueline, first of all, thank you very, very much for your post today. Um, you might have written it just as you normally do. Jacqueline's wonderful. If you're not following Jacqueline, by the way, please do. You'll get some very interesting, I should say, posts, and you'll get some very deep posts that'll make you think about what you do, life, and everything else in between. So if you're not following Jacqueline Fairbrass, I encourage you to do so. So let me read Jacqueline's post. And as I said, pay close attention, and I'll talk a little bit more at the end, but pay close attention to the sentiment and what she said and the story within this story. Okay, do I need my glass? No, I don't. Okay, what she said, and listen. She said, some people will never like you because your spirit irritates their demons. And that's that whole piece there again. Your spirit irritates their demons. The thing inside them, the spirit inside them, that's a demon. Okay. I mean, we all have our demons. Those are the things that sit on our shoulder and tell us, don't do something because you don't have the power. It's not you. Who are you to do that? That demon of doubt. Okay. So Jacqueline said, some people will never like you because your spirit irritates their demons. I've seen this quote floating around, attributed to Denzel Washington. It stops me in my tracks. Why? Well, one, who doesn't love Denzel? That's Jacqueline, true and true right there. Second, it reminds me that it's not me, it's them. It's not my circus, not my monkeys, and I feel a little spark of relief. So just seeing that there is letting us know that, look, um, sorry, something just popped up on my phone there, letting us know that we're not responsible for people running their own show and for other people's feelings. It's up to them. Um, let's go and let's read a little bit more because it's quite a nice post. So she said, secondly, reminds me that it's not me. So it's not you. Whatever way people respond to what you're doing, it isn't you, it's others. Okay. Now, whenever we be brave, and pay attention to this, whenever we be brave, okay, whenever we decide, I'm going to do this despite the fear. And I can't remember who the author of the book, Feel the Fear. I think it was Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. So whenever we be brave, step out, blaze a trail instead of following the pack. And this is something that I encourage you to do. It's not about following the pack as an individual, and especially as an introvert entrepreneur online. It's not about doing what other people are doing that makes us feel uncomfortable. It's about beating your own path so that you can fulfill your own destiny. But Jacqueline says, um, whenever we be brave, step out, blaze a trail instead of following the pack. There are those who knock us down, who want to keep us in our place. They want us to stay in our lane, so as to speak. I'm sure you've felt that. You've experienced that in your life. And if you haven't, well, wherever you live, that's where I want to go and live. Okay, so she said, uh, we want to keep us in our place. F them, keep going. Yes, that's what she did say. We're all adults here. Um, when I decided to bring my ADHD daughter up without meds, using holistic and natural healthcare, well, my family went ape. I'm sure you can fill in the blank there, but again, she said when she decided that she was going to bring her daughter up that has ADHD without meds, poisonous meds, and I've worked for quite a number of biopharmaceutical companies. Do you know they have about, I think it's about 2 million a day set aside for lawsuits, just in case they get sued. $2 million a day. And that was back then. So I believe in what she's saying here because, I mean, we all know the side effects of medication. And just to digress a little bit, it's interesting that when you go to see a GP, general practitioner, or a doctor, you might be given medication to take care of something, but given another medication to take care of the side effects of the first medication, and then a third one to take care of the side effects of both of those medications. And so if number one, let's be very clear, I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm not qualified to give medical advice. So let's get that clear. But I do believe I follow this practice as well. I what I do that works for me, again, being very clear, is I adjust my lifestyle so that I don't need medications, or I seek alternative solutions. But again, the choice is yours. Not saying that you shouldn't use it, not saying it's bad for you, but I'm following what Jacqueline's saying here, which was a choice that, even though I'm not in that situation, if I was, that's probably what I would have done. So she said, her family basically didn't take that well. She says, I'm feeling sweary today. Jacqueline, it's your world, it's your life. No one can tell you what to do. No one can tell us how we ought to feel. And then she said, then 5 years later, I opened a private practice. First of all, go you, Jacqueline. Yay, go you. So I could help others heal holistically and naturally. I had the loving support of two people and the further hostility of family and friends. Jacqueline, I don't think those people are friends. They're people that happen to be in your life that you knew, or people that, like Prince, who used to be called this, these people used to be called your friends. But in reality, that's just what happens. How many things have you chosen to do in life that your spirit said to you, this is what you need to do. This is the path you need to take for whatever the reason. And sometimes we don't even know what the reason is, but that's why that spirit within is also called intuition, coming from a higher place than we understand, a higher place than our five senses. And it's when you listen, when we listen, to that inner voice, that spirit, that higher, self, that we normally get results that we wouldn't have got if we just relied on friends and family and our five senses. So this, folks, one of the reasons why this jumped out at me is that this is a really good example of life and how we can take control of our destiny, and we can work with the spirit within, and not only that, understand how that spirit works within others and within us, and what we can, should, or shouldn't allow it to do in our lives. So again, this is from Jacqueline Fairbrass. Um, Wonderful, wonderful post from her. And this is my inspiration for today. I'm going to break this down somewhere else. And Jacqueline and I are supposed to have an interview at some point soon. This is before I knew she was basically a Wizard of Oz with words and had this story to share. But let me just keep on here. Um, so they said it could not, in capital letters, be done, and they were wrong again. So I opened the Jacqueline Fairbrass School of Complementary Therapies and started teaching others to become natural, holistic leaders. And it couldn't be done. They said it could not, N-O-T in caps, be done. How many things have you put off in your life because you didn't think it could be done? Forget the others for now, that you didn't believe in yourself. Like Jacqueline has, she believed in herself within, at that point in time, 5 years later. Most of us will experience something, stuff happens in life. Um, and then maybe friends or family, they go, like she said here, and then we let it go because we don't want to disappoint people. We don't want to let people down. And other things just happen. And so we just don't do what, because of them. But let's take them out of it for a moment, because remember, I said at the start that um, there are spirits within all of us and we're all connected, but you have your own spirit within you. And if you let your demons, your spirit, hold you back, the not so positive part of you, because remember, yin yang, we're two parts, and those parts of us complement each other, and that's why we can make judgments, we can decide. If you hold yourself back, then where's your help going to come from in terms of making your decisions? The voice is already inside you. It's intuition. It's whether you decide to listen to it and to act on it or not that's going to make a difference in your life. And again, this is from Jacqueline Fairbrass, folks. My inspiration for today. She is definitely my hero for today, as I said at the start of this. But the story itself, this is a story that you could tell people and just say, just imagine the following happened. What would you do? But this is real life. So let me continue. So she said that 5 years, he said it couldn't be done and they were wrong again, meaning they'd been wrong before. And so she opened it and she's now teaching. Her school, by the way, if you want to check it out, is the Jacqueline Fairbrass School of Complementary Therapies. That's Jacqueline's school if you want to check it out, or just check her on Facebook. And started teaching others to become natural, holistic healers. Another round of haters. Even reading this as an experience, somebody else's experience, number one, I'm feeling it as life. Because remember, this is live. I really haven't had time to go over this because it was only put out, I think, about 37 minutes ago at the time of this live recording. But I'm feeling what she must have, or part of what Jacqueline must have been feeling at that time. Because this is what happens in life, and we either bury it and just go along, follow the pack, or we make our own path, as Jacqueline said. And there are experiences that you may have had in life that made you feel what I'm certainly feeling as I'm reading this to you now, and what Jacqueline must have been feeling when she was going through this. And it's making me sad that this, unfortunately, is how life is. But it's also making me happy that we have a choice. And hopefully Jacqueline's story here with her daughter that has ADHD, And the choices she deliberately made will give you the hope, inspiration, and the encouragement that you can do whatever it is you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be, and you can have whatever you want to have. And just look at Jacqueline's story. Not only did she get through that, not only did she make a bold choice, but she also went up and opened a school to teach others. And then she had another round of haters, as if there weren't enough already. So Jacqueline goes on to say that I'd be lying if I said it didn't hurt. It does, each time. I'd also be lying if I said that it wasn't worth it. Yay, go you, Jacqueline, because my darling, it is so worth it. And the so there is SOOO. So, and here's probably the takeaway on top of everything else that I have said. Here's Jacqueline's direct takeaway to you. So, don't let the bastards grind you down. Oops, I just lost that. So he said, don't let them grind you down. Don't water down your magic. Did you hear that? Don't water down, don't dilute your magic. She didn't say your powers or your knowledge, your wisdom, experience. She said, don't water down your magic. You do have magic within you that you can use to do things not for yourself, but also for others. I agree with you, Jacqueline. Don't water down your magic. Keep blazing that trail. So stop looking at others, waiting to see if someone else has done this thing. So I can do it because, oh, someone else has done it. It's safe or it's acceptable. Or you're looking over here thinking, wait, that person's doing it. They're successful. If I do exactly what they're doing, I'll be successful too. Well, you might be, but you're just going to be one of many. So blaze your own trail. What she said here again, she said, keep blazing that trail. Don't be a copy of someone else. Do what Jacqueline did, which again is for me, is quite emotional. Reading this story, she decided that her daughter was worth it. She didn't want her daughter pumped full of drugs for life. And not only that, she opened a school and then has gone on to teach others. And her school, again, by the way, just so I get it right, is called the Jacqueline Fairbrass School of Complementary Therapies, where she teaches others to become natural, holistic healers. My question to you is this. Still got some other bit more to go here, by the way. And this is Live Saturday, so this is what it's for. And if this is your first time, if you're watching this outside of our Facebook community, the Quiet Experts group, this is what we do. It's about encouragement. It's not all about sales and marketing and tactics. It's about real life and things we encounter as introverts. So she's saying here that doing this is you're leveraging your natural magic. You're blazing a trail. You don't want to be one of others, of one of many, because how do you stand out? There's a piece that I did. It was called, actually, it's going to be in a book that's going to be out February next year, and it's called Clarity. Who are you when nobody is looking? You don't want to be like everyone else out there. Yes, you might want to provide the similar transformational services or create similar transformational products, but you don't want to be like everyone else and then expect people to choose you over and above those who might seem to be like your competition. I wouldn't certainly choose you. And yes, it was just a flipping a coin or, no, let me choose one of these people online. You have to blaze your own trail. You have to do what Jacqueline is, what she's been through. So she's not just saying do it, she's been through it and she's doing it. So this is Jacqueline Fairbrass again. So let me just round this up. So she said, keep blazing that trail. And if that path is being a healer, then I've got absolutely fabulous courses and programs for you. Check out https :// yes, I'm doing it the old school way, schoolofct.com for the deets. Like that's how the cool kids say details. We cool kids, we call it the deets. We can't be saying details. Okay, so her school is schoolofct.com, where Jacqueline has all the information you need if you want to be a healer. She's got programs. She's got transformational programs. She's got courses as well. She says, big love, 2 hearts, Jacqueline. And there's a quote here that says, great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Oh, Jacqueline Fairbrass. Well, that is so true. I don't know if you can see that. I know when people do this on camera, it doesn't really show that well. Okay, so Jacqueline, you are our star. You are my hero for today, certainly. And I'm sure there's so many people that'll watch this and just feel inspired by your story, number one, and also by what you have to offer. And in case you're wondering, as I told you at the start of this, I was looking for something to share today on our Quiet Experts group live Saturday, because every Saturday is when people have, it's a dedicated time, apart from any other point during the week, that people can share their live videos on anything. It's a way for us to also get used as introvert entrepreneurs online to leaning into those things that we're probably not as comfortable doing. You might be an introvert entrepreneur online and you might be fine. You might be an introvert expert and you're fine. You have no problems at all getting in front of the camera. But that's not the normal feeling for introvert entrepreneurs online. And so what I've done is within this community, I certainly do it. And yes, get this, it's not about how long. No one's questioning how long you've been doing what you're doing. Most introvert entrepreneurs online and introvert experts are great. They've got deep experience at helping clients and customers, but that's not what we're talking about. So don't think that it's about challenging your expertise. It's about challenging the things that you are not good at, that you know you're not good at, and that you don't do because you're afraid. Let's call a spade here. You're afraid of doing those things. Wow, I should have used this for a, well, that's life, isn't it? It's about being afraid to do certain things that can allow you to have more impact if you decide that you're going to lean into those things. And I'm sharing something later on today about, being a true expert and how I disagree with an existing theory that's been out there for quite a while. But that's for another time. This Saturday, this live piece that we do here is all about expressing yourself, getting an environment to practice without being criticized. Yes, you might get some feedback, but it'll all be feedback to help you get better at what you're doing. And so today was about Jacqueline Fairbrass, the School of Complementary Therapies. Go check her out. And if you've got any comments at all, feel free to share them. But this is my inspiration for today. It's going to be inspiration for some additional material. I've certainly learned from this, because without this, I probably wouldn't be speaking with you right now. But more importantly is Jacqueline's outlook to life, her approach, and what she went through, and the end results, and what it's led her to do. So Jacqueline Fairbrass is our star for today on this live session. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been Bayo here, and until next time, goodbye and have a great weekend.